Whitstable Guide. In 10th place is the Crab and Winkle line. The Crab and Winkle line actually follows the route of the original railway line which used to run from Whitstable to Canterbury. But today it's been changed into a cycle track or footpath which you can walk with wonderful scenery. So if you feel energetic and you want to trace the history of the railway line that used to run from Whitstable to Canterbury, Whitstable Guide. In ninth place, we have the Whitstable Museum and Gallery. Though it's only a small museum, it is full of load of interesting bits, and the most important bit in there is actually the train. Based on the rocket by Stevenson, it's called the Invicta, and this used to run passengers from Whitstable to Canterbury along the Crab and Winkle line. But there's loads of other things to see in the museum. Of course, Whitstable is well known for the Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing, the famous actor, lived in Whitstable well into his old age. I think he lived in excess of 100 years. We even have the local pub, the Witherspoons pub, is named after him. And if you want to go in for a drink, go in there because they've kept the cinema as a pub or a pub as a cinema. And of course, follow Peter Cushing at his Appreciation Society. Whitstable Guide. In eighth place is Whitstable Oysters. Oysters have been coming from Whitstable for years, and there's a lovely restaurant in the harbour where you can get fresh Whitstable oysters. The oysters originate from France. They come in as little shell things, and they're put in nets and hung on frames about a metre off the seabed so that they can grow larger. And then when they're finally harvested, they are put through a filtration system so they're nice and clean. And then they are removed from their shells or put in their shells and taken to the local restaurants. And you can eat them whichever way you like them, with lemon, with chili, with onions, whichever way you like. I personally don't like them, but that's me. If you like them, Whitstable is the place to come. The only place to come for oysters, it's Whitstable. Whitstable Guide. In seventh place is the Horsebridge Art and Culture Centre, which is right in the middle of Whitstable, and it's a great place to see local artists who can display their artwork, their pottery, and their crafts. Also, they hold events like small music events, little plays, and shows. It's a great little cultural centre, and of course, there is a cafe there if you want tea, cake, and scones. Whitstable Guide. In sixth place, we have the Tankerton Slopes. These are located to the east of Whitstable Harbour. Just keep walking along the seafront and you'll come across the slopes. They're a great place to go on a nice Sunday afternoon with the rows and rows of beach huts, a big grass bank to sit on, and a beach that doesn't have many people on. Unfortunately, it's not sand, it's shingle or pebbles, but it's still a nice place. And quite often they do have shows and art exhibitions on the slopes. Whitstable Guides. In fifth place, yeah, we've got Peter Cushing. Yes, it's not anything particularly to see, but Peter lived in Whitstable for many, many years, and he could be often seen on the beach. His house is on the beach. He used to sit on a bench just there, and it's called Peter's View. And you can go there and sit on his bench, and there's a little plaque there and everything to just admire this great actor who was often seen walking around the town. And when you're finished, you can disappear into the Peter Cushing pub run by Witherspoons, which is full of memorabilia and bits and pieces all about Peter. Uh, he was so well known and so well liked in the town. He lived there for many, many years and enjoy walking around the town and finding all the references and the cafes and the bars and the places that you used to go in, and people will tell you stories about him. The Whitstable Guide. In fourth place, yes, it's an English pub on the beach. The Neptune. Dates back years. Well, I think hundreds of years. Anyway, just leave the harbour, turn left, walk along the beach, and there it is. One of the greatest little pubs you'll ever find that sits directly on the beach. And the best thing about it is they have loads of benches there. They have live music. They have wonderful food. They have the best beer in Kent from Shepherd Neame at Faversham, which is a very old brewery. Should cover that in a later video. But get yourself down there. There's normally music on. Check out some great jazz bands, blues bands, bands of all And the best thing is, most of them are local. So get yourself down there. You never know, I might see you there because I enjoy myself at the Neptune. Whitstable Guide. In third place, we have the Carnival and May Day parades, which take place. Obviously, the May Day parade takes place in May. The Carnival date can vary, so do check on the website. But these are two local events that are very popular, and the locals do join in. And now that most carnivals are walking carnivals and characters, you'll have a great day out. We have marching bands, and the May Day festival now, which is becoming more and more popular. It's only a recent addition to the Whitstable celebrations, but now with Morris dancers and Morris bands and characters, it's just a great day out. And if the weather's nice, what's a better thing to do than spend your time watching people enjoying themselves at carnivals and May Day festivals in Whitstable? Whitstable Guide. In second place, we have the harbour. This is a working harbour, so you can spend your time either watching the fishermen bring their catch in and preparing it, or you can watch them even cleaning their boats. But it is a fully working harbour, so there's always something going on. But around the harbour, you've got loads of little stalls now and little bars and people selling all nicks and knacks from Whitstable that are made by local crafters and everything. You can even get your Whitstable oysters fresh from the little fishmongers on the side of the quay. So it's a wonderful place to spend an afternoon down at the harbour. And if you really feel adventurous, you can take a trip on one of the old boats. So have look forward and hope you have a great day at Whitstable Harbour. Whitstable Guide. In first place, it's the beach. Of course it is, because it's such a wonderful beach. And the beauty of it is just behind the beach, there's a big car park called the Tank. Anyway, you can walk from the Tank car park just through the arcades onto the beach. And what a wonderful beach it is. I know it's not sand and it's shingle or pebbles, but you've got the groins, which you can shelter behind if it's a little bit windy. And the kids just love playing, throwing stones, playing ducks and drakes in the water. And of course, at the back of the beach, you've got the wonderful promenade and Whitstable Castle with its wonderful Regency gardens, which is just a delight to walk through. Under the trees, looking at the flowers and admiring the wonderful old castle, which is now a place where you can actually get married and hold events. And if you're really lucky, you might come across John on his tricycle selling you ice cream.